We are so back. UFC 324 is just 1 week away after a long break that was 5 times longer than it needed to be. I've missed you guys, and I know that you have missed fight season. I have too. I don't even know how we've made it this long, but here we are, 7 days away. I'm going to call every fight on the UFC 324 card. I'm going to give you my picks, and I want to know what you think about them. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Stick around, buckle up, and let's get going. Kicking it off, the first fight of the evenings in the early prelims, we've got Adam Fugitt versus Ty Miller. Adam Fugitt has had a very peppered start since his debut in the UFC. He came from LFA. Let me tell you, I know he gets a bad rap, but his 3 losses are to Michael Morales, Mike Mallet, and Islam Dulatov. Those are very difficult opponents. And the loss against Dulatov and the loss against Mallet came in the first round. So we really haven't seen enough of him. Now, that said, he's 37 years old, so he is getting up there in age. I'm surprised he's in the UFC still, especially after that loss to Dulatov. He's fighting Ty Miller, who is just out of season 9 of Dana White Contender Series. Have to admit, I don't know a lot about this fighter, but he's 6-0. He got his contract last season on Dana White Contender Series. Adam Fugitt really has to make something happen here, or I don't see him coming back. But then again, like I said, he's 37 years old. I'm going to go with the young fighter, the 25-year-old Ty Miller. I think this is going to give us an interesting perspective on Ty Miller because he's fighting Adam Fugitt. Adam Fugitt's last loss was against Islam Dulatov. So I think doing MMA math, it'll give us an idea how good Ty Miller is in this fight against Adam Fugitt. I'm going to go with Ty Miller in a decision. Next up, we've got Ricky Turcios versus Cameron Smotherman. Both fighters are coming off a loss. Ricky Turcios likes to put on a lot of pace at the beginning of the fight. He can get a little sloppy. Smotherman, on the other hand, is a much cleaner striker, likes to fight at a distance. He does have a good 1-2, more power. Ricky's going to be all over the place. Neither one of these fighters have a great record. I'm going to pick Cameron Smotherman for the win on this. I'm going to say a win by decision. Next up, we have 2 heavyweights, Josh Hokit versus Denzel Freeman. Denzel Freeman is a 34-year-old ex-Marine. He's got clean striking. He'll surprise you with head kicks and side kicks. He made his debut into the UFC against Merrick Bulyo. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was Cutter. It was an absolute sleep fest. It was a flop of a debut for him. He's better than that. I think he played it too cautious. If you remember that fight, both of them were just circling each other. The fight went absolutely nowhere until the 3rd round. He peppered him with some calf kicks, and he ended up getting the win, but it was really just a flop and an embarrassment. He's fighting Josh Hokit, who is coming off season 9 of Dana White Contender Series. I think the UFC really likes Josh Hokit because he's got a big, giant WWE personality. He likes to talk smack. He's colorful. He wears like a US flag around his head. I will tell you, this fighter is really good on the ground. He's also got heavy hands. Haven't seen any of his fights except for Dana White Contender Series and his debut in the UFC. That's about it. But he's good. He's athletic, ex-football player. I'm going to go with Josh Hokit, and I think he can win by knockout. I'm going to say Josh Hokit, knockout or TKO, round 3. Coming up next, we've got lightweights, Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. Michael Johnson is coming off a nice 3 wins. Very impressive because he is 39 years old and he's still fast. He's still got a quick 1-2. The way he pops in and out of range, he knows how to work the body. He's a southpaw. I'm loving this for Michael Johnson at this stage in his career. He had a splendid fight against Zellhuber. I don't know if you saw that fight, but that fight he just shined, and I think Zellhuber is underrated. Did you see Zellhuber's fight against Esteban Ribovics? amazing fight. Anyway, I think it's a lot that Michael Johnson beat Zellhuber and did an outstanding job. He defended the head kicks and outstruck Zellhuber. That said, he did lose to Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira lost to Alexander Hernandez. So let's talk about Alexander Hernandez. Alex Hernandez is coming off a 4-fight win streak. He had that win against Chase Hooper. He had that perfectly timed counter right hand, knocked him down, took him out with those punches on the ground. This is going to be a great matchup. And it's tough to call because Michael Johnson is getting older. He's on that tear. Is he going to be able to sustain that? Alexander Hernandez is on a 4-fight win streak as well. I love this matchup. I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm going to go with Michael Johnson because this is kind of a personal thing, but I just want to see him do it again. I think his fast hands and the way that he's able to move in and out of range, I think he's just going to be able to get it done. Yes, I'm going Michael Johnson for the win. I think this is going to be a win by decision. Next up, and this is where it gets so good, we've got 2 flyweights, Charles Johnson and Alex Perez. Charles Johnson always has a height advantage. He is 5'9". He is a monster at flyweight. As a matter of fact, you can look at him in my Monsters video back last Halloween. I featured him. Charles Johnson is just all around well-rounded. He's good striking, he's good on the feet, he's good on the ground. His wrestling is what actually helps him get wins. I don't know if you saw that loss against Ramazanbek Tamirov. He fought so well, and Tamirov is excellent. He's so good. He did test positive for PEDs like a couple of months after that fight, and he's been suspended until July of 2026. So I don't count that loss against Charles Johnson too heavily because he did well in that fight. And if you recall, Charles Johnson also beat Joshua Van, and he had that great win against Loner Kavanaugh back in Perth, I think it was. He's coming up against Alex Perez. Let me tell you something. His record does not do him justice. His record is really deceiving because Alex Perez is a very good fighter, but he has lost to the best of the best. He's lost to Pantoja, he's lost to Figgy, he's lost to Mokaev, he's lost to Asu Almabayev. That was his most recent loss. Right before that, he lost to Tatsuro Taira. If you remember, Tatsuro Taira was backpacking him. He tweaked his knee, had to have surgery. He comes back, gets that loss to Asu Almabayev, but he was beating Taira arguably before that knee injury. He is really good. He's good on the feet. If he backs you up against the fence, be careful, he will knock you down. His wrestling defense is really good. He knows how to sprawl. He'll attack the wrists. He has good scrambling. I'm telling you guys, listen, I don't want to see either one of these fighters lose. I don't even know, I don't even want to say who I think is going to win because I don't want either one of them to lose. But at the end of the day, I am going to go Charles Johnson. It's going to be a heck of a fight. I'm not going to be disappointed if whoever wins. I'm going to be sad for whoever doesn't. But yeah, I'm going to go Charles Johnson. I think this is going to be by decision. Next up, we have 2 light heavyweights, Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. Both of these fighters are 6'3" tall. They both come from a karate background. Nikita Krylov is on a 2-loss fight streak right now. He lost to Bogdan Guskov and Dominic Reyes, getting knocked out from both of them. His chin is a little bit in question. However, Krylov has a really good punch, kick, knee combination. He moves really well. He's all around solid, good on the ground, has great head kicks, has a great kicking game altogether, great high head kicks. Bukauskas, on the other hand, is coming off a 4-fight win streak. Those fights were kind of boring. He's constantly moving, circling, moving laterally. He picks his shots where Krylov will come out. He will press forward. He's not afraid to put on pace. Bukauskas, on the other hand, is going to move laterally. He's probably going to circle around. He's looking for timing. So 2 different styles here. Bukauskas does have power in his shots. This is going to be a very interesting fight because I think that Krylov might be dictating the pace. However, I'm worried about Krylov's chin at this point because the last two knockouts were pretty bad. I'm going to go Bukauskas. I'm going to go TKO. Third round. Next up, we have two middleweights coming at you. Atiba Gautier versus Andre Pulyaev. Now, these two fighters have some things in common in that they both come out of season 8 of Dana White Contender Series, and they both fight in the middleweight division, and that is where the similarities stop. Andre Pulyaev had his debut in the UFC. I believe it was against CLD. It was very lackluster. He kept getting walked up against the fence, then he would clinch up, really did nothing. I mean, that was the story basically of the entire fight. He really just had a nothing burger. And he is coming up against future Titan Atiba Gautier, who is massive. He looks like he is chiseled out of stone. Just looking at this guy makes you gasp. He is intimidating, and let me tell you what, this guy has some power. But I want to say a couple of things. If you looked back at his Dana White Contender Series fight back in 2024 and you watched that fight, you realize that he is a little bit of a fish out of water when it comes to fighting on the ground. So that tells me something. Let's see, it's been a year and a half now. Has his grappling evolved? Well, we just haven't had a chance to figure that out because he knocks the heck out of every fighter since then. He has been on an absolute tear. He is powerful. Everybody compares him to Ngannou, rightly so, but here's the difference. He is patient and he is very intelligent. For only being 23 years old, he fights with a lot of maturity. He takes his time. He has sledgehammers for fists, but he doesn't come out swinging. He comes out calculated and he picks his shots. Now, this fight is a no-brainer. It's going to be a walk-off KO. I think it's going to happen in the first round, but I would like to see Atiba's next fight be against a solid grappler because I want to see if his ground game is evolving. He is going to be a star in the middleweight division. Let's get this fight out of the way and let's get him some really tough competition and see what he's made of, both on the ground and on the feet. Well, we know he's going to be awesome on the feet, but let's see what he's like on the ground. Alrighty, moving on. Next up, we have two bantamweights, and I can't believe that this fight is on the prelim because as far as I'm concerned, this could headline a main card event. We've got Umar Nurmagomedov fighting Deiveson Figueiredo. This is going to be a fantastic fight. I know Umar right now is highly favored. I think everybody is discounting Figueiredo. Figueiredo still has a lot of power, even moving up to 135. He had that win over Montel Jackson. Given that was kind of a weird fight, Montel Jackson did basically nothing. It was almost like, I don't know. I don't want to say he threw the fight, but it definitely was weird. Deiveson didn't do a lot in that fight either. I think he was probably being cautious because of Jackson's power and his quickness. He did get the win though. You know, you never discount Figgy because he still has power. He can still move. He's got a good ground game. However, Umar is just better all the way around. Umar is so well-rounded. He's got clean technical striking. He's got those beautiful head kicks. Even on the feet, Umar has the advantage, but we know, of course, if they go to the ground, Deiveson might pull guard. He will be at a disadvantage if so, because Umar is going to be able to get out of any submission attempt. And Umar is just all around superior when it comes to the ground game. It's a no-brainer that Umar is going to get this win. I do think that the odds right now are stacked so high in Umar's favor that there is, I don't know, if you're looking at prop bets, I don't know, there's a slight chance that Figgy has a chance to knock him out. The only way Figgy is winning this fight is if the fight is on the feet. There's no way that Figgy is winning this fight on the ground. All in all, this fight goes to Umar. It's going to go to decision, and Nurmagomedov is going to get the win. Next up, we have probably the most exciting fight on the card. This one has a real chance of being fight of the night. We have two featherweights, Arnold Allen versus Jean Silva. Wah! This fight is going to be electric. I can hardly wait for this fight. Arnold Allen, okay, we haven't seen him fight for about a year and a half. His last win was over Giga Chikadze. He was so good in that fight. And I know a lot of people say that Giga was out of his prime, which he kind of was, but not really. Again, this was over a year and a half ago. The fight before that was either Holloway or Mokaev, where he did outstanding in both of those fights. Arnold Allen has a power shot. He is excellent on the feet, very disciplined, makes good reads. He's defensively sound. He's coming up against what many people call the future champ, Jean-Lord Silva. Now, this fighter is about as violent and creative and vicious as it gets. This is sure to be one of the most entertaining fights of the entire night. Jean Silva is forward pressure, extremely creative. He will come at you from every angle with elbows, with spinning back fists. The thing about Jean is that he is emotional. He tends to have a lot of something to prove when he's in the octagon, and that can make him make mistakes. We saw that against Diego Lopez. That fight was so incredible. He actually could have won that fight, but he made two crucial mistakes, and both of those mistakes Diego took advantage of, ended up getting the win. I am very interested in this fight because it's been like, what, 4 or 5 months now? He fights with the Fighting Nerds. I am sure that they went back to the drawing board and they were like, look, we've got to take some of the emotion out of that, because that chaos that Jean Silva brings is great. It can catch people off guard and it could be an advantage, but at the same time, it can serve as a disadvantage for him. And I think Arnold Allen, with his great reads, is going to be able to take advantage of any mistakes that Jean Silva makes. And so I think this is going to be a test of how much Jean Silva has grown. And I think he's right at that place now where we should be watching him mature as a fighter and still use that creativity, because that is where he's so gifted, so athletic, and so unpredictable. This fight could go a lot of different ways. I think that if Jean Silva wins this fight, it's gonna be probably a TKO in the second round. If it does make it to the third round, Arnold Allen, that tells me that he's made the proper reads and he's come out with the right strategy to beat Jean Silva. I think if it's in the third round, it really could go either way. I don't know. I just think that Silva has a lot to prove after the loss to Diego. I'm going to give this one to Jean Silva, second round TKO. Next up, we've got the ladies at flyweight. We have Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Let's talk about Natalia Silva. Did you know that she started out her career at 5-5-1 as her record, and now she is 19-5-1. She has been on an absolute tear. She's really incredible. She is fast, explosive. She can fight on the ground. Now, let's talk about Rose Namajunas. Thug Rose Namajunas is a two-time champ, well-rounded fighter, known as mentally tough, good on the ground, good striking. That said, I think she's probably just past her prime. I think Natalia has lots of momentum, energy, and ambition. Not to say that Rose doesn't want this. I think that Natalia has that fire and she is hungry now and she's chasing the belt. I'm going to go with Natalia Silva for the win by decision. Let's jump into the heavyweights. We've got Waldo Cortes-Acosta and Derek Lewis coming up on the main card. This is going to be a really fun fight. I am genuinely very excited for this fight. And I had to think this one through. Even up until making this video, I didn't know who my pick was going to be, but here's what I've come up with. Cortes-Acosta is coming off an incredible 2025. He shined throughout the year. He had that win right after the Tom Aspinall eye poke, where he suffered his own eye poke and then came in with a TKO. So incredible, his resilience. And then he was asked to fight, I think maybe 5-6 weeks later in Qatar against Shamil Gaziev, and he had that knockout against Shamil Gaziev, and I didn't even pick him. So he just won me over. He won my heart over. He is an up-and-comer. Derek Lewis, past his prime, but still has that scary knockout power. Listen, guys, he's not the knockout king for nothing. He still has that power, and he just needs to find that space. He needs to find that mistake. He needs to find that moment, and he will knock you out. He really has it. That's why I keep going back and forth on this one. That said, Derek Lewis is 41. He is slowing down. He has been knocked down. I think that Cortes-Acosta really has the advantage coming into this fight. He's younger. He's on that roll, which I think gives him confidence. I'm going to say Waldo Cortes-Acosta with the win. Second round TKO. Next up, we have the new co-main event now that the Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes fight is canceled. We have Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. This fight is going to be absolutely great. There's a lot on the line. Really, there's a lot on the line for Sean O'Malley because if he wins this fight, he is likely the next contender, probably for the White House, against Petr Yan. So O'Malley his stock has gone down a little bit after that loss to Merab. Sean is a very technical distance precision striker. He's got sharp 1-2s, incredible feints. He has flashy movements. He comes out strong in the first round. Sean's fighting Song Yadong. Song Yadong is a very well-rounded fighter. He fights out of Team Alpha Male, so that tells you that his ground game is going to be solid. I think that if the fight does go to the ground, Yadong is going to have a slight advantage. O'Malley can scramble. Again, the ground isn't his wheelhouse. O'Malley is more technically sound. He's just an all-around better fighter. That's not to say anything against Song. Song's very good, very durable. He's got a chin. He's got power. If he can catch Sean, there's an opportunity to win there. I think the longer the fight goes, the more Song has an advantage. I don't see that happening here. Sean has every advantage going in this fight, and Sean's got a lot to prove here because he knows that his stock has suffered over the last year, and he really wants that White House card. So I'm going to say Sean wins this fight, and I think it's going to be a second round TKO. And now to the main event. Lightweights Justin Gaethje versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Look, I know that there has been so much controversy about this fight and people thinking that Paddy has had Dana White privilege. Can't disagree with that. And then Justin kind of whining and complaining that if he didn't get the next title shot, he was going to retire. I don't know, guys. Whatever you think about how we got here, and this fight is electric. This is a great and exciting matchup. We all know the history of Justin Gaethje. He has fought the best of the best. And all of his fights, especially over the last few years, have been against top 10 fighters. Like, he doesn't fight any layups whatsoever. Justin Gaethje is so good on the feet. He is such an athlete. The pocket is his wheelhouse, but the clinch, he's super dangerous there. You can rest assured that if you are in the clinch against Justin Gaethje, there's going to be an elbow or a hook coming at you as you depart. This is going to be a great matchup for Paddy Pimblett. This is going to be his toughest fight yet. Paddy fights more outside. Justin Gaethje's going to want to be in the pocket. He's going to want to be in the clinch. Paddy fights more from a distance. He moves forward when he's striking. He throws combos. He's got some power. Defensively, let's hope he's on an upward trajectory in terms of keeping his chin down and coming in with better counter-striking. He can throw a little bit loopy, but he can still strike. Paddy Pimblett is going to want to take the fight to the ground, which is where he shines. His jiu-jitsu is excellent. He's going to want to take Justin down, take his back, either get him in a submission. If not, then do some damage with ground and pound. Paddy is really excellent. He doesn't get the props that he should get for his jiu-jitsu. And either way, he is a superstar. Like him or not, the fans love him. And he's coming in with good momentum, lots of confidence. Justin, I don't think you should ever count him out. I know the odds right now are 2-1 in Paddy's favor. I think that is just really discounting a fighter like Justin Gaethje. This fight could go a couple of different ways. Justin has lots of experience going 5 rounds. We don't know what Paddy is like going 5 rounds. So Justin has advantage there. Justin can catch Paddy. You never know. Like, he's got some power. Paddy tends to have his chin up. So I do see an opportunity for just in there, but ultimately, I think Paddy Pimblett is going to get this done. I think he's going to get it done in the 4th round. I see a 4th round submission, Paddy Pimblett. All right, and there you have it, guys. We are so back. UFC 324 kicks off 2026. The Paramount Plus era is now upon us. I'm so excited. I know you guys are too. Who were your picks? Who did I miss? Who did I get right? Who are you thinking, yes, I think the same thing? Who are you thinking, no, lady, you're crazy. You got this one wrong. Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. I can't wait to see you. UFC 324, we're almost there.